Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel for a new episode of Toxic Tuesday. I hope everyone has had a lovely week this week. Mine has been absolutely amazing. I have actually become an auntie, so my brother and his partner have had their very first baby, a beautiful, beautiful baby girl. They're all recovering really well. Bubs is doing amazing, Mum is fantastic, and she is just gorgeous. She just has like this squishy little head and she's just absolutely beautiful. But getting into it, for those of you who are new here, my name is Bethany Vujan, and every Tuesday I do an episode called Toxic Tuesday here on my channel where I talk about a toxic plant that you may have in your backyard. And for today's episode we are talking about Cicuta. So Cicuta is more commonly known as water hemlock, but it does have a few other names that it does go by, including cowbane, poison parsnip, spotted corabane, carrot fern, devil's bread, and devil's porridge. Now Cicuta is a genus of 4 species of highly poisonous plants in the Apiaceae family. The 2 most common are Cicuta maculata, which is the spotted water hemlock, and Cicuta douglasii, which is the western water hemlock. Now both species are actually quite similar as they both have umbels of small white flowers on the ends of tall stems. Now umbels is the term used to describe the flower formation that these particular plants have, and it's where there's a number of short flower stalks coming from a single common point with the clusters of flowers at the end. So as we can see here in this image, you've got the stem of the plant and it reaches a point where it kind of just stops, and then after that it goes in kind of every direction and it's got the flowers at the end of it all clustered together. The plant as a whole can actually reach a height of 2.5 meters, and the stems are branching, erect, smooth and hollow, except for where the leaves and the stem connect. Typically, Cicuta maculata stems are purple striped or mottled, which is why they get the name spotted water hemlock. They have 2 to 3 pinnately compounded leaves that alternate along the stem that can reach anywhere from 30 to 90 centimeters in length. The leaflets are lanceolate, which means they are essentially lance-shaped, serrate, which means that they're actually like jagged and sharp-toothed along the edges, and range from 5 to 10 centimeters in length. Now when talking about a leaf and a leaflet, we are actually talking about 2 different areas of the plant. So the leaflet is not born on the main branch or stem, where, like a leaf is, but is actually born on the petiole or on the branch of the leaf. At the base of the stem of this plant is a tuberous root with thickened rootstocks. They are multi-chambered and actually contain a yellowish oily liquid. Now this liquid is highly poisonous and is reportedly supposed to smell like raw parsnip. Cicuta is native to the temperate regions of the Northern Hemisphere, so think North America and Europe mainly. It's typically found in wet meadows, along stream banks, or other wet marshy areas, including ditches and pond margins. If you're wanting to cultivate this plant in your garden, make sure that you use deep loam, clay loam, or clay-like soils, as they will be your best bet for best growth. However, make sure you do plant this away from any herb garden that you have, because it has been confused with the edible members of the Apiaceae family, such as yarrow. Now yarrow has a similar flower structure, but the leaves and stem have a hairy appearance, whereas with Cicuta it's actually smooth. Another one it's commonly confused with is water parsnip, which has a similar habitat and again a similar cluster of flowers. The leaves on water parsnip though are once compounded, whereas on Cicuta they are 3 times compounded. In North America, Cicuta is actually considered one of the most toxic plants due to its toxicity on humans. All 4 species of Cicuta actually contain the toxin Cicuta toxin, which I'm starting to notice that there is a lot of similarities between the toxin name and the name of the plant. So cicutoxin is a unsaturated aliphatic alcohol that is, structurally at least, closely related to the toxin oenanthotoxin, which is a bit of a mouthful. Cicutoxin affects the central nervous system and is found in all parts of the plant, especially in the roots where they seem to be concentrated during the time of spring. The toxin, when ingested, acts as a stimulant to the central nervous system and can actually cause neuronal depolarization, which in layman's terms means it causes cell overactivity. Now, this overactivity, especially in brain cells, can actually cause seizures. Now, these seizures can actually occur in as little as 15 minutes after eating this particular plant. Initial symptoms normally include nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, tremors, confusion, weakness, dizziness, and drowsiness. However, it is possible that the rapid onset of the seizure activity could be the first sign of poisoning. Now, Cicuta has further symptoms that are relating to different areas. Some are due to complications of ongoing seizures, and these can include increased body temperature, decreased pH in the blood, muscle breakdown, swelling of the brain, blood coagulation disorders, and kidney failure. Cardiovascular symptoms can also include the alternation between slow and fast heart rate, as well as the alternation between low and high blood pressure. Further cardiac effects also include supraventricular tachycardia, which is a fast heart rhythm caused by abnormal electrical activity in the upper portion of the heart, and ventricular fibrillation, which is where the ventricles of the heart quiver instead of pump. Neurological symptoms can also include hallucination, delirium, pricking, tingling, or numbness of the skin, dilated pupils, and coma. Other additional symptoms that have also been reported include excess salivation, wheezing, respiratory distress, or the absence of breathing. Now, this plant is also incredibly toxic to animals as well, so keep away from any curious pets, and if you do have it in the paddocks where cattle go, make sure you do remove it from there as well. Now, I did find a report on 2 patients who had accidentally ingested water hemlock because they had mistakenly believed that it was a wild edible plant. I'll leave a link in the description box down below of the case itself and the report, so you can have a read through if you're interested, because it does actually go into the acute and chronic effects that they experienced, and I thought it was actually quite interesting. So if you found it interesting yourself, or if there's other points you'd like to point out, leave it in the comments down below because I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. That is everything today, guys, on Cicuta. I actually tried to find a little bit more in regards to the history of the plant, but there wasn't really a huge amount that I could see. So if you learnt something new, leave a comment down below and let me know. And while you're there, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps me out. If you would like to chat further about this week's plant, I am actually on Twitter. We can use the hashtag Toxic Tuesdays, and I'd be more than happy to continue the conversation over on there. As always, guys, thank you so much for spending some of your day with me. It always means a lot. But I will see you all next week for a new episode of Toxic Tuesday. So stay safe, have a lovely week, and keep on learning. Bye, guys.